Hi all, this is episode 19 of Rats in the Kitchen, and today we're shooting at Lucy Larkham Park. I actually fished here 3 times this week. First time, same day as the kinetic sculpture race, I pulled out 10 bikes. But today the first thing we're going after is this banner. And obviously banners being non-metallic, we're just going to use the grappling hook. I wasn't quite sure what this was a banner for until I got it out of there and saw that it was for the farmers market, a great event they have throughout the summer here in Lowell by Community Teamwork. Still has 2 weeks left in it, so I just flattened that out, rolled it up, gave it back to them. They were appreciative of that. So that was a lot of what you'll see in this episode is stuff that I could see from the banks. That's the advantage. Sometimes they lower the canals and it makes it a lot easier so you can just aim for stuff. This is a debate we've had a few times. Does it count as fishing or is it really just aiming? That's one of the things we got right there that fell off. It's from these lights that they use to light up the canals sometimes for different times of years. Every Christmas they'll light them up Christmas colors. 4th of July they'll do the red, white, and blue. Every time Prince dies they'll light it up purple. It's a nice addition to the canals. So the canal was drained for about a week. As we speak, they're filling it back up. But while it was drained, I was able to get out 17 bikes, about 17 bikes, I think. A few other items we'll do over here. 8 or 10 chairs, that banner, a bunch of little items that just went straight in the trash. Things like cut bike logs and scrap metal that was unidentifiable, and parts of old shopping carts. So environmentally, this was a pretty productive week, even if I didn't get it all on video. Didn't find anything worth keeping, but now people can go fishing in the canals without worrying about as much about their line getting stuck. So that was oh yeah, I got the bonus rail spike. There's a little bit of a rail bed on the other side of the canal here. It's mostly used by the National Park Service to get people from downtown to some of the old historic sites. If you're ever in Lowell, yeah, it's worth doing. It's a free thing. Pretty enjoyable. There is a bike pump. Not sure if it came with the bike. Doing a lot more editing these days. I don't want anybody to think that I'm just catching things cast after cast after cast. For a while I was doing the idea of speeding video up, and I think having it closer to real time works better. And there's the rest of the bike pump. Just some random metal there. I think it was part of an old desk. Lucy Larkham Park is right between Lowell High. Lowell High has 2 sections. It's been there since sometime in the 1800s, I think, part of it anyway. There's a bike chain. So naturally, when you have a canal that goes right down the middle of a high school, you're gonna find things in it like old chairs, adolescent style bikes, your BMX style. And that's mostly what we're pulling up. There's another chair. Chairs from various eras. I had some kids watching me pull some of these bikes out, and they're saying, that one looks like it's from the 70s. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But it might have only been thrown in there in the 90s. Now it's getting pretty dark, and I'm on the section closer to what they call Father Morissette Boulevard, which is a bit downstream, so it's definitely a muddier section down here. So I'm going straight into the muck and just pulling out some old folding chairs. I think there were enough folding chairs in here for you wrestling fans. Probably enough folding chairs in there to have an ECW event. I was able to get three of them out this day, using both the combination of the magnet and the hook. I was getting a little tired of the paracord. And my issue with the paracord there was it just tangles too easily. It's good quality rope, and it's strong, but it just tangles way too easily. I was a little bit more comfortable with the anchor rope. So what I did the day after shooting this was I just had it so that the magnet was on one end of the anchor rope and the hook was on the other. So it's effectively they cut my rope down to 25 feet for either of them, but in a canal situation that's probably fine enough. And also if you have them both and you just wrap them around the fence there, the fence top rail, that helps. You gotta remember not throwing both out at the same time without a connection point, or you lose both and you can't use one to retrieve the other, as I've done a few times. I think I'm pulling up a bike here. It sounds like I should be able to identify that. I am editing this on my phone, and when you factor in how much space the editing board takes up and all the other factors of it, the screen I'm looking at here is about 1 inch by 2 inches. But yep, there's a bike. So I'm more going on memory here in some cases than I am than what I'm viewing. So hopefully soon I'll be able to just get a bigger phone or something. That is securing the rope. A little bit of a toss out there. There's a couple of things out there I'd like to retrieve, but I might have to wait for the next drain. There's this old city barrel that's been compacted. It has plenty of grip points, but it's just heavy and it is completely in the muck. I've made some progress with it a little bit. I was able to grab it with the hook and at least roll it over, but yeah, there's another chair. Shades of Terry Funk and Cactus Jack. Maybe I've got the wrong match. So I was still able to see things very clearly at this point. It's just a camera issue, but yeah, there you go, another chair. We're still able to get some things there. I just have to keep the limitations of the camera in mind for next time. There was one bike here that was completely trapped under a log. I'd love to be able to get that at some point, but I'm not sure what my chances are. It wasn't that one. So there we go. That was the finds from in the dark here. You see the 3 folding chairs, one on its side, a couple of bikes, another bike from earlier, along with the pump, a pedal, the rail spike, a bench. This actually was an old park bench that took a while to pull up. That is much everything it looked like. Another standard issue folding chair. Another standard issue school chair. And the big pile of rusty bikes, a couple of chairs, and of course a student crossing no parking sign.